Right, so we just have a slight problem with our headsets. I think they have died on us. So we will just continue without them. Dylan Jabez is there in pole position. Class B, Brett van der Schuyf is in pole. And he has got Kyle Visser there on his outside. It looks like it could be Kyle Visser. Mohammed Kalfay is also in there together with Tate Bishop. The lights go off and away the Class A cars go as they work their way down into turn number 1. That's the Class A cars. The Class B cars have been released off the line, and Brett van der Schuyf, the pole sitter, gets gobbled up by 5 of them as they race down into turn number 1, and now the Class C cars get released and they are being led into turn 1 there by Mark Fontini Gaza as the Class A cars are heading into turn 2.
Well, a brilliant off the line by Umpi Swart, but he had nowhere to go by the time he got into third gear. Brent van der Schuyf in the Class B missed the gear on the takeoff. That's why he got, as Frankie said, swallowed up. Look at the battle for Class B. The angry Jetta trying to work its way up on the inside. It's Kalfay that's alongside him as they work their way down to intercept the corner, Class B.
Well, there was 2 cars in trouble in turn 1. I think Van Niekerk is one of them. They're both up and running again. They are now the last 2 cars on track heading into turn 2. But yeah, the Class A cars are racing down the back main, and it's all about Clinton Besaidenout that sits out there in P1. He's been chased down there by Dylan Jabez. That sits there in that second position. Watch out for Umpi Swart. He's gone up 2-3 positions. He's right on the outside of the track, trying to fight his way around there with Nathan Victor as they exit turn number 2. It is a huge war up front now, and has Besaidenout still got that lead as they come down towards us? Yes, it is. Followed there by Dylan Jabez. Then it is Kai van Zyl, and have a look at this. Nathan Victor, Umpi Swart, and Skalk Keldenhuis right in that fight, and right behind them is Ian Cup.
Nathan Victor is going to beat him coming out of the corner. That's a problem, because this is where Clinton Besaidenout knows he can make a move at the front end of the field. Clinton Besaidenout leading out from Dylan Jabez. Kai van Zyl right in there as well. Kai van Zyl, in fact, is past Dylan Jabez. Then it's the Summit Racing car of Nathan Victor. Then it's only Umpi Swart coming through behind that. So one hell of a battle. Geldenhuis, the next one through behind that. Then going through turn number 2, it's Battle Royal. Bishop has now lost out to Ryan van Eerden, with Visser, the next one in there. Hendricks down to 4th with the Yellow Mean Machine.
Have a look at this Class C fight that's making its way through turn number 2. Can you believe it? Who's leading that one out? I think it might just be Mark Fontini that is leading that one out. It is, well, they're all over each other. It's Daniel Muna, Mark Fontini. It is Dylan van Eerden, Razik Harris. They're all in the house. Faisal Jacobs, they're right on top of each other. That group of Class C cars that's working its way towards turn 4 saddle sweep.
Class A coming out onto the front main now underneath the City of Cape Town and Wingfield Motors Bridge. Remember last time around, Clinton Besaidenout went to the front end of the pack for the start of race number 2. He had to get away, up dust and disappear before Umpi Swart came through. He did not get it right on that day. Once again, he starts at the front, but he's got them packed and stacked. Here comes Umpi Swart up on the inside of, and Nathan Victor out into the Jabez straight they go. Umpi Swart, oh, Dylan Jabez all the way off the circuit. Holds on to that 3rd position. Nathan Victor's not going to back out under braking. Umpi knipes him as they go into the corner. They're literally rubbing wheel nuts. Nathan Victor in the Summit car is not giving up. He's going one-on-one with Umpi Swart. There's nothing in it. They're side by side. Who's going to back out going into 3?
Going into turn 2, we've got a Class B fight. That's Ryan van Eerden. He's got Tate Bishop right on his case. Then behind them, we have got Zaki Hendricks. It is a heck of a fight out there. And behind Zaki Hendricks, it's Carl Victor and Mohammed Kalfay as they work their way out of Interceptor Corner. It is a lovely, lovely fight out there. Then you've got a bit of a gap before we see Mark Thompson. And right on his case is Brett van der Schuyf and Donnie Sandenberg Jr. So there's a heck of a war raging on here in Class B.
Class A on its way through Pertamina Fastron out of Cape Town corner, turn 5 they come up towards the bus stop. It's still Clinton Besaidenout, but it's touch and go. There's one hell of a battle. All the top 6 is in there. It's Clinton Bezuidenhout from Carl van Zyl. It's Dylan that's holding on to that third. Once again, Umpi Swart has a look up on the inside, gets past Geldenhuys. The problem for him is Nathan Victor, Summit Racing, is not backing out. He wants that fourth position or better.
Five-way war raging down into turn number 5, and that is Class C. You can cover them with a blanket, that's for sure. Razik Harris has got his nose in there. They are going one-on-one as they come down towards us. Van Eden is right in there. That is with Mark Fontini as they race down towards us. And it's Fontini that gets his nose ahead of Dylan Van Eden. Van Eden dives up onto the inside. Fontini sits on the outside. Razik Harris is in that fight as well. So is Matthew Rowe and Faisal Jacobs. It's a heck of a fight for Class C that's working its way out of 1.
Ryan Van Eden at the front end of Class B, going down into turn 3, interceptor corner. Still holding out there on Tate Bishop. Tate Bishop doing everything he can to put the pressure on. Zaki Hendricks up into third position. They have broken away from Visser. Going down into Pertamina Fastron. The Class A cars is, here comes Dylan. Dylan Joubert said, I've had enough of coming third, fourth, fifth and sixth. I want to go to the front. Dylan Joubert's got the pressure on as they come underneath the City of Cape Town and Wingfield Motors Bridge. Umpi has not got a way through yet.
Well, I don't quite know if this is going to be a heck of a pace that this one's been run. Oh, they're locking up, heading into turn number 1. There's 4 more laps to go in 124.717. The quickest man out there is Yuri Umpi Swart. And can Dylan Joubert hang on to this? He's been pressurized heavily there, locking up going into turn number 2. He's Dylan Joubert, but he's got no. Dylan sits in that third position. Sorry, the sun is in my eyes. That's Clinton Bezuidenhout that's sitting out there in P1. Dylan Joubert would love to get back to the front because he was there for a while, and he's lost out now to Clinton Bezuidenhout, and he has lost out there to Swart, and he is now right in the hands of that other group of cars that's making its way through turn 4, saddle sweep.
Ryan Van Eden carries his battle through the kink down towards interceptor corner. He's still ahead of the angry entry of Tate Bishop. Tate Bishop just ahead of Zaki Hendricks. They have pulled away from Visser, Calfey, Van der Schyff, Thompson and Sandenberg. No problem with that. Class C, Frankie, Mark Fontini goes to the front ahead of Van Eden.
Yeah, Class C is a massive, massive fight. Yeah, they're going into turn 3. I see them there in 3. And that's been on the whole day. Mark Fontini and Dylan Van Eden. Van Eden sitting in there behind Fontini. Then Razik Harris sits there in that third place. He's the only red car out there, and he's got them racked and stacked in there behind him as they make their way out of turn number 4. Out of saddle sweep, down the back lane they go. Right in there with him is Daniel Muna. Then we have got Faisal Jacobs, Nur Abbas in the 15 car. He's right in that fight as they race down towards turn 5 Fastron.
Well, the man to start making decisions now is Kai van Zyl. He's second overall, going down in towards turn number 3. He can sit behind Clinton Bezuidenhout. The two of them working together can probably stay away from Umpi. But if they fight one another, Umpi will catch, and it'll be Nathan Victor that'll make it a 4-way battle with 2.5 laps to go. Keeping in mind, he has not had a race victory in this class yet. Will he back? Oh, look at this. Here they go down the back main. And Umpi somehow got out of turn 4. Saddle sweep very nicely. He's worked his way past Kai van Zyl. They're going to go 2-by-2 down into turn 5.
Well, you don't know where to look. There's battles all over the place. There's a Class B battle that's also raging on as this massive one is heading out of turn 5, coming towards us. I'm trying to pick up. There they go, down the back main. That's Ryan Van Eden, Zaki Hendricks and Tate Bishop. They are right there with each other. Then it's a bit of a gap before we see Carl Visser. Carl Visser's coming through. What has happened to Mohammed Kalfay? I don't see him out there. There's Brett van der Schyff, Mark Thompson, and Donnie Sandenberg Jr., but I do not see Mohammed Kalfei's car out there, unless I just missed him out there somewhere. I think he's got a problem. He's parked the car on the exit of turn number 2.
Class A working their way now down towards the sweep, and it's Umpi Swart that's on the back bumper of Clinton Mercedes. The Summit Racing car is in there as well. It's Nathan Victor. There's nothing in it. There's just 1.5 laps for Umpi Swart to get past Clinton Mercedes. You could see he was under pressure all race long. He had to get there and get there quickly because he knows it's not just 1 or 2 corners. If you can get past Clinton Mercedes through the Sorrel sweep out into the back main, who's going to lead it out?
Gary,
Here he goes.
This is going to be ugly. They are bashing each other going into turn number 1. That's Class C. That is Dylan van Eerden and Mark Fontini. They were literally side by side, bumping each other on the door handles coming down the main straight. Now they're working their way towards turn 2. That's Fontini on the inside. That's van Eerden on the outside. And these two are not going to leave each other alone. Third place is Razik Harris, and he's got 4 other real hot shots in there behind him, exit of 2.
Class A coming through to start their last lap. 1 lap to go. Umpi's at the front end of the field. It's going to be very close for that second position. Clinton Mercedes just ahead of Nathan Victor. Then it's Kai van Sale. Then it is Gelden Nason. Behind that is Dylan Joubert, who had the bumper coming off earlier on. Now they start to work their way through turn number 2. Umpi Swart, I think, has got it, but Clinton Mercedes has got a very quick Nathan Victor in there behind him.
Class B heading into turn number 1, and Ryan van Eerden has been hassled here by Zaki Hendricks, and right behind Zaki Hendricks as they work their way out there is Tate Bishop. They are side by side as they race down towards turn 2. But Class C, here they come, Mark Fontini and Dylan van Eerden. They're bashing each other around again as they go down into turn number 1. They are literally bumping each other as they race down into turn number 1.
One massive battle there with the front end of Class C. Fontini van Eerden having... well, we've got a spinner into... Whoa, we've got another car that's gone off there as well. The Class A battle will be coming up towards us now. Umpi Swart on the invert, getting himself back to the front end of the field. Umpi Swart will take it from Clinton Mercedes. Then it'll be Nathan Victor, or will it be Nathan Victor from Kai van Sale? Then Geldenhuis, and then Dylan Joubert coming through behind that. We wait for the Class B battle to come towards us. It's on its way down into Cape Town corner.
Ian Cup is the final Class A car across the line. We're waiting for this Class B fight towards a checkered flag. They are working their way out of turn 5, out of Fostron. Heading down towards us, there is nothing between them. It's Ryan van Eerden. That's got his nose up front. Ryan van Eerden will come home in P1 ahead of Tate Bishop, ahead of Zaki Hendricks. That's the first 3 cars across the line in Class B. P4 coming towards us now, and that will be Kyle Visser.
It's Fontini and van Eerden that work their way down into turn 5. That's the leaders in Class C. They've been knocking, chopping, and hacking one another all day long in this race. Who's going to make it to the line?
Right, here they come down towards us. That's going to be side-by-side stuff. They're not going to give in to each other. It's going to be about a half a car length, and it's going to be Dylan van Eerden that comes home ahead there of Mark Fontini. Wow, then it is Razik Harris, and then Matthew Rowe finishes his race, and he finishes there just behind the 48 car of Ruan Ace. Man, that was some awesome action out there in the Alert Engine Parts GTI Challenge race number 2. Yeah, Tiny just made a statement off air, the best race of the year for Challenge. And yeah, I cannot go against what he said there. I think it must be their best race that they've had for the entire 2023 season so far.